Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where several tyrannical police officers harassed a man for simply driving into a parking lot by pointing their firearms at him and unlawfully detaining him. On November 12, 2021, an officer with the Fort Myers Police Department was out on patrol duty after midnight when she observed a gray vehicle idling in a parking lot. She found this rather suspicious and subsequently drove into the parking lot to investigate what was going on. After making contact with the owner of the vehicle, she assumed that something unusual was indeed going on and promptly called for backup to help her investigate. Things began to escalate from there, and when another subject pulled into the parking lot, everything took a turn for the worse. This entire encounter was captured on all the involved officers' body cams, which we will now look at.
Car got broken into.
Excuse me?
My friend's car got broken into.
Just now?
I don't know, he's been parked here for a couple days. I've been checking on it. The glass is all shattered. His kayak's missing from the roof.
Okay, why is your friend's car parked here?
I don't know, I haven't talked to him in a couple days.
How'd you know it was parked here?
Because the last time I saw him, he was parked here.
I'm sorry?
The last time I saw him, he was parked here.
Why was he parked here? I feel like we're going in circles here.
The laundromat.
Can you speak up?
The laundromat he was using?
The laundromat? Is anybody over there, or is it just you? Sorry, I'm trying to look over here, not...
It's just me.
Okay, and where's your friend?
The owner of the car?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, man.
Okay, is he missing?
I haven't been able to get hold of him.
Okay. This is a little odd circumstance, right?
I mean...
So you're telling me his vehicle has been smashed up and he's missing?
This was within the last, day or so.
When's the last time you talked to your friend?
A day and a half, 2 days ago.
And so you've been checking on his car over here?
Yeah, to see if he's picked it up here.
You see why that sounds a little odd? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Where are you coming from?
I live over here.
I can't hear you.
I live over here on Grand.
Okay, do you have ID on you?
Yes, ma'am.
So far into the encounter, the man claimed that he was there to check up on his friend's vehicle, which was parked nearby, but had recently been broken into. And apparently, the robber stole several other personal belongings too. After hearing his story, the officer continued to question him to figure out if something illegal was taking place. If we look at the totality of the situation so far, it could be argued that the officer was within her rights to pursue the investigation by detaining the man and identifying him. Note that an officer must be able to articulate specific facts that led to a reasonable suspicion that the suspect is involved in criminal activity. Though it remains up for debate whether he was being lawfully investigated at this point, his rights were violated anyway soon after another unit responded to the scene to assist the first officer. Let's review the second officer's body cam footage. Watch closely.
Bravo 33, traffic stop, Fowler and Hunter.
He was walking from over here.
Fowler and Hunter, live.
Flight tag, India Mike 03, Yankee Tango. I am 03, YT on a blue four-door sedan.
Yes.
32 is calling out.
Yes.
33 final is going to be Fowler and Welch.
No, that's okay. I just want you to kind of hang out right here for me, okay? Is that your car registered to you?
No, that's not real.
Somebody start trying to
Which car is your friend's car?
Yeah, but there's no.
The white jet?
Okay.
Smashed out? Okay. What's your friend's name? Okay, cool.
As we've just observed, the second officer immediately walked up to the man's vehicle without making himself aware of the situation and then started to shine a flashlight inside, essentially violating the man's constitutional rights. The Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution states that the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Now, one may argue that the officer was simply observing contents that were in plain view and not searching anything. However, the Supreme Court's decision in the case Horton v. California summarized the plain view doctrine as having two essential components. First, the item must be accessible to an officer's sight, touch, smell, or hearing in the course of other legal actions by the officer. Second, not only must the officer be lawfully in the place where the object is in plain view, but he or she must also have a lawful right of access to the object. So, judging by this, the only nuance is whether the officer had the lawful right to access the contents of the vehicle. In the 1987 case of Arizona v. Hicks, it was held that probable cause is required to invoke the plain view doctrine as it applies to seizures. And if we analyze this encounter so far, the officers certainly did not have probable cause to believe that something illegal was inside the man's vehicle. As a matter of fact, the officers didn't even bother investigating the supposed vehicle which was broken into. Regardless, this is when another subject pulled into the parking lot.
Did you call anybody to come here? Did you call anyone to come here? No. Oh, no, we got blasted. Why are you shining your light at me? Put down the light. Put down the light now.
For what?
Put down the light.
Put down your light.
Bro, are you wrong? What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
You realize the Fort Myers cop, right?
No.
Put down
Why
your
didn't you
light.
identify yourself then?
Fucking retarded?
Stupid?
You see all the police cars, right?
You don't
What the fuck?
identify yourself?
Let's look at this from a different camera angle. Driving down the road, I pull into this parking lot, the cops light me up, so I stop. Apparently these cops think it's illegal to be 200 feet away from them while they're harassing some innocent guy trying to help out his friend. I don't know, man. It's kind of strange. The funny thing is I switched up bait cars. I'm in a rental car. So they didn't know it was me. Because when they know it's me, they don't act this way. But they had no idea it was me or I was recording them. And they had no idea I was going to get their body cams either.
The subject who had just pulled into the parking lot was Chuck Bronson, a well-known law enforcement auditor in the community. He was essentially driving through two vacant buildings with the intention of exiting from the other side, but immediately slowed down and came to a stop when he noticed the patrol vehicles in the parking lot. Despite this, the officers on the scene pointed their flashlights directly at Mr. Bronson, and one of them even pulled their guns at him. Not just that, we've also heard one of the officers refer to Mr. Bronson using an unprofessional and rather inappropriate phrase. First of all, it goes without saying that the officer who pointed his gun at Mr. Bronson was not justified in his actions at all. It's generally understood that when a police officer makes use of a firearm or less lethal weapon by deliberately pointing it, that will constitute a use of force for which the officer is both legally and organizationally accountable. According to the General Order document of Fort Myers Police Department titled Use of Force and Response to Resistance, it stated that an officer shall use only the force necessary that is objectively reasonable to effectively bring an incident under control while protecting the lives and property of the owner or another. Judging by these factors, we can safely conclude that the officer had violated departmental policies by unlawfully unholstering his firearm and pointing it at Mr. Bronson.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
What's your name?
For what?
What are you doing here?
Seeing what's going on.
What are you doing here?
Seeing what's going on.
Do you live here?
Do I live where? In a parking lot?
Exactly. What the f you mean? What are you
You mean?
Alright. You're in a no trespassing thing. I need your license. You're gonna get trespassed. You don't belong back here. Please give me your license.
You're not going to ask me to leave first?
No, I'm not. I don't have to. The trespass
really?
signs are up. Do you have your license?
I
Do you
don't
have
know.
your license, sir?
Not sure.
You're not sure? So you're driving a vehicle without a license?
I have to look.
Huh?
Can I ask about 602 still somewhere?
So am I being detained or what?
We have vehicles to pull up.
Or am I free to go?
No, you're not.
Fine.
Florida tag, Juliet Kilo Whiskey, Delta 59 JKW D59 on a black roll.
Copy.
So what are you doing back here behind a closed business?
I didn't go behind a closed business. I just pulled in the fucking parking
Okay, so this
lot.
is a closed business here, sir. This is a closed
That is not a closed business.
This is not?
I'm not behind it.
Okay, closed business.
I just pulled in. You're blocking the fucking route out, moron. Are you
This
stupid?
is a route
Sir,
out?
calm
Yeah,
down.
that's the fucking route out.
So you're coming north on Cleveland, correct?
I don't know.
I'm gonna see where you are. Do you need directions somewhere?
I'm just driving fucking through, man. What the fuck do you mean? I can't just drive through a fucking parking lot without getting
So you're
harassed.
driving through a closed parking lot of a closed business.
I'm not hanging out.
While we're conducting an investigation back here.
And
Now, right off the bat, the officer threatened Mr. Bronson with criminal trespass and demanded identification from him too. However, bear in mind that the parking lot is actually on private property, meaning that the owner typically decides who they wish to keep or remove. In Florida, under Statute 810.08, a person who, without being authorized, licensed, or invited, willfully enters or remains in any structure or conveyance, or having been authorized, licensed, or invited, is warned by the owner or lessee of the premises, or by a person authorized by the owner or lessee, to depart and refuses to do so, commits the offense of trespass in a structure or conveyance. Given that Mr. Bronson was neither warned by the owner or lessee of the premises to depart, nor refused to do so, the officer's threat of criminal trespass is unjustified. As for the demand of identification, Florida is not a stop and identify state where police officers can demand identification without any basis. Under Florida Statute 901.151, known as the Stop and Frisk Law, a law enforcement officer may stop a person only when the officer has reasonable suspicion that such person was committing, is committing, or is about to commit a criminal offense. Taking this into account, had the officers not detained Mr. Bronson, he would have simply left the area without any trouble, as he was just passing through anyway. This was an unlawful detainment, to say the least.
It's the cop watcher. I sent out the picture earlier today in our group chat. We rolled up on the suspicious person. And there's a no trespassing sign right now, so Juliet is trying to handle the whole situation with that gentleman. Negative. He overheard the radio and decided to come check out what's going on while we're dealing with this. And pulled up into a closed business. They were making contact, but he was refusing to give ID, and they wanted to issue him a trespass. I'm not over there right now. I'm still dealing with 602's original call, but that's the situation going on with that vehicle right now. Sorry about this. You good?
I was gonna try to call you guys before it.
man, I was driving through. Is all I did.
An officer safety
You guys just start lighting me up where I can't even see, so I stop.
Can I
You
explain?
put fucking flashlights in my
I
face.
did, because we're conducting an investigation, and I don't.
I didn't go back there near you. I stopped right
Can I
here.
explain something to you?
Why are you searching my car?
Can I explain something?
You can record me all you want. I don't mind. I'm recording you as well.
Amplifying with fucking light is not plain sight.
Oh, fine. Plain sight, you have clear tinted windows and you're coming up into
Clear
a closed
tinted?
business.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alright.
Plain sight is not amplifying with light. Read the case law.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking violate my fucking Fourth Amendment right too?
I don't violate anymore.
I'm just trying to drive through. Can I pass freely? Do I have the right to fucking travel or not?
Can you advise me to get back to police?
I need your fucking supervisor now. Pulled in the parking lot here for 30 seconds and we're just gonna trespass you. We're not gonna ask you to leave or nothing.
I tried to explain it to you, sir, but you don't want to listen.
After the fact!
Tried to explain it to you.
After the fact.
Okay. So do you want me to try to explain it to you, or?
Hey, you know if that's locked? By any chance? it doesn't matter.
Can you explain to me why I don't have a sergeant here yet?
Sir, you stopped the vehicle and you were facing it towards us while we're conducting an investigation.
I just pulled in. I didn't know what was going on.
Who you are.
So I didn't know which way to go. I couldn't see nothing. So you put flashlights in my face.
I don't know if you're part of this investigation or what's going on. So, that's why we're out.
Me pulling up? You think that's part of some homeless people?
You said you were driving through. You stopped. And you stopped
because I seen you guys in the middle of the fucking road.
So if you're driving through, you have plenty of room.
I can't see that. I can't tell what's going on.
With your lights on your headlights, you can see that, sir.
No, I can't. I cannot see over there.
So can you see the
not
police?
Not till I turn. I cannot
SUV
see over
right
there.
Can you see the police SUV?
Yes, I can see the SUVs.
So you didn't know police were coming over here to tell you?
Yeah. Do you see how far I made it in the parking lot before I stopped?
Okay.
Because I seen the SUVs.
Do you have any business here, sir?
I was wanting to leave already.
Do you have any business here at all, sir?
Yeah, you won't let me leave. You said I'm being detained and you refuse to let me leave. That's
okay,
my
you're
business
back
here.
To close business while we're trying to conduct an investigation.
No, I'm trying to drive through.
Finally, soon after a supervisor arrived at the scene, Mr. Bronson was informed that he was free to leave. This essentially made it clear and cut that the other officers had unlawfully detained Mr. Bronson and tried to violate his constitutional rights by questioning him and demanding ID, similar to what they were doing to the initial suspect. Speaking of which, the officers briefly investigated the initial suspect and ultimately let him go, but the point to note is that he wasn't threatened with being criminally trespassed, which was odd because all the officers had just done that to Mr. Bronson.
What do you guys think about that shit?
Is Michael, is he a user, or is that what it is?
Okay, he's a heavy duty.
Okay.
And that's what Terry didn't want either, so.
He didn't want that.
There was a car back there, but I'm pretty sure they're already gone now, so.
Okay. Well, no, thank you. Just so you know, they will give you a call if they need anything. I appreciate your cooperation. You do understand why we stopped you and
I
everything.
don't know, is that the car? That's the
Don't
car?
go back any further. Try to make the cut. If you can't back up that way, I don't want you to treat. Let's try to make this cut real quick.
You're good. Good turn. That was a super tight turn.
Hell no, I didn't fucking ID. They didn't get nothing. Hey, is there any way I can get that call number?
Yes, sir.
I don't know what happened over there, but were you there? I thought I seen you at the last minute, but I'm like,
Yeah, I was there, but I was talking to the other gentleman. I couldn't tell who you are.
Yeah.
I think I shone my
Just
light on
filled
you
it.
because I couldn't see.
it's all right.
But yeah, let me get the incident number for you. Oh, I put it on the other side.
You're fine.
It's gonna be my name that's on it though.
Okay, I don't care.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, crap.
I'm so sorry.
It's my fault.
There you go.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
After requesting some information, including the incident number, from the first officer who was at the scene, Mr. Bronson reportedly filed a complaint with the Fort Myers Police Department. However, no further updates have been made as of the date of this recording. Be sure to check out our previous video, where we cover another outrageous police encounter.